Welcome to Shooby Dooby Doo-Wop, a podcast where we talk about pop music. We're halfway through our deep dive of the UK Top 10 Singles Chart of the 15th of June 2005. I'm James Cook.
And I'm Andy Robinson.
And do check out part 1 of this week's podcast, where you can hear us talking about all the songs that are in the chart from 10 to 6.
And check out our Spotify and YouTube playlists, which are attached to listen to these records we are banging on about, or banging on about possibly this week, James.
Here are the songs that we've covered so far. Down 6 to number 10, it's The Best of You by Foo Fighters.
Always fighting Foo, them fellas.
Down 3 to number 9, it's Don't Funk With My Heart by the Black Eyed Peas.
Part Bollywood, part game show, part funk, spelt with a PH.
A new entry at number 8, Feels Just Like It Should by Jamiroquai.
And it does feel like it should.
Up 3 to 7, Shot You Down by Audio Bullies featuring Nancy Sinatra.
Audio Bullies taking Nancy Sinatra's dinner money offer.
And up 6 to 6, You're Beautiful by James Blunt.
This stoner's life is brilliant, but don't worry, he's got a plan and his life is brilliant.
As we say, the playlist links are in the description. And
Please listen to them. I think they really help this podcast. And
yeah.
Your life's better because it's got some songs in it.
Also in the description, you'll find a link to our Patreon community. You can join that for free, but if you give us a little bit of money, you get access to the Bonus Tracks podcast.
And what would be in the bonus tracks? How possibly could we choose another 6 records?
Well, we pick the songs from the top 100 that never get to be in the top 10.
Never, that's right, I remember now. Songs that never made the top 10, hence, ostensibly, never having the chance to talk about them.
And here's the kind of thing you can expect in that. Some people go to sleep listening to podcasts, and if that's you, wake up!
Often, I think Patreon episodes are better than the ones we do.
One. This is the real thing. This is the real deal right here.
Then.
LCD Sound System, the person we're talking about is, of course, LC the Sound System.
That's his name.
That's his real name.
They blew my silly little head off, James.
Oh, excellent. I'm glad you don't have a head anymore. I feel like I shouldn't really be here.
Yeah, you're at a disco and you think I don't belong here, even though nobody gives a shit.
I don't belong here because this is for a local brownie troupe, and I'm a man in his 40s. There's no way I should be at this disco. Join our community now at patreon.com/ShoobyPodcast.
Number 5.
A non-mover at number 5 this week. It is One Thing by Amory.
What thing by Amory?
One Thing by Amory.
Yeah, but what is it?
Just a one.
Who's on first?
The Foo Fighters were on first, if you remember the top 10, James.
Oh, no. So last week when I sent you the link to this top 10, was there a bit where you couldn't remember what this song was?
Yes, very much. I mean, in part 1, I alluded to the fact that I'd bought 10% of this week's top 10. I wish that I'd bought 30%. The other 10% would have been Jamiroquai. Again, listen to part 1. The other 10%, this record, James, I mean, I've loved it.
Do you remember it from the time?
Only really, really vaguely, to my shame.
It is your shame. I remember this at the time, and I remember thinking, surely this is going to get on our playlist. And of course, it didn't. So I didn't get to hear it loads. But that's probably a good thing, because it's kept it fresh and exciting in my mind. But yeah, it's an absolute banger, this.
It's a winner. When I heard it, James, I thought, part of this record's charms, a big part actually, is the drums, isn't it? It's got such a weird beat. I thought that'll be a sample, I imagine. I thought James will tell me what the sample is, and then I got so intrigued by this record, I looked it up myself and found out. I went Route 1.
All right, tell me all about it.
I believe it to be from a record by the Meters called, what's it called? I can't remember. Oh, Calcutta or something like that.
Yeah, Oh Calcutta.
Yeah. And again, when you listen to the Meters record, wanting that Amory beat, let's say, that go-go beat, which I'm going to talk about later, it comes up as a little drop 2/3 of the way through the record, and you think, there it is. To use the Little Richard quote, my toe shot up in my boots, and I was excited.
Let's give him a name check. The drummer is Ziggy Modalist, and the guitarist is Leo Nocentelli.
Thanks, Ziggy. Thanks, Leo.
And apologies for pronouncing your names incorrectly. What do you know about Oh Calcutta?
I don't know anything about it. What, the name of a comedy show, I seem to remember.
Yeah, it's an avant-garde theatre review created by Kenneth Tynan, who was from Birmingham, where we live.
I've seen him knocking about.
Do you know what significance Kenneth Tynan holds in the history of UK television?
First man to drop the F-bomb, or as Black Eyed Peas would put it, the PH bomb.
He was,
a joke
yeah.
about Funk with My Heart, James.
He was the first person to say it deliberately.
Yeah.
In 1965. So O Calcutta ran for nearly 4,000 performances in the West End and nearly 6,000 on Broadway, making it one of the longest running shows ever. It was a sort of compendium of different sketches and musical numbers and whatnot. John Lennon contributed the first draft of one of the sketches.
Okay.
And they're all kind of about sex.
Fair enough. It's a common subject.
Why is it called O Calcutta?
I don't know. Okay. Why is it called alcohol?
Why is it called what? Why is it called O Calcutta? It's named after a painting by Clovis Trouille,
good name,
French artist. It's basically a painting of a bum. O Calcutta is like an anglicised version of the French phrase quel culta, which basically means nice arse. O Calcutta means, oh, nice arse.
Let's drag it back on to Amory.
Yeah, I just think the sample is such a huge part of the song. It's interesting to know where it came from and the sort of the route that it took to come into existence to then end up in this.
Yeah, man. Under the old YouTube comments, as I like to look, a lot of people were talking about the drums being the go-go beat, yeah? A lot of talk about go-go. Now, I thought go-go was something that he did to George Michael just after you've woken him up. I looked into go-go rhythm. A lot of people stipulated that it was a rhythmic archetype, if you like, a rhythmic genre, very similar to the rhythmic thrust of the Beyonce record, Crazy in Love. And I fell into a little loophole through YouTube about Amory, Beyonce, and this song, J-Lo as well. She was going to have it, I believe.
It's all to do with Rich Harrison, isn't it?
Go on, tell me about it.
Well, he's the producer of this. He co-wrote this. He's also the producer of Crazy in Love. You can see that sort of common thread.
And there was talk about which was recorded first, and Crazy in Love might have been recorded a bit before this, but it was released. So Amory fans below the line on YouTube, there's a lot of talk about her being robbed and ripped off, and essentially, yeah, like a sort of one of those artists in pop music, if you like, someone who's kind of been cheated out of their success a little bit. So,
I was convinced Crazy in Love predated this by a couple of years.
I don't know.
Crazy in Love, I think, is 2003.
Please feel free to write into shoobypodcast@gmail.com and tell us one thing about Amory was originally Karma Chameleon by Culture Club or something, if you like.
Do you know how Amory and Rich Harrison met?
No, I don't tell
They
me.
met in a McDonald's car park.
Really?
Sounds dodgy, doesn't it?
Betty Boo got spotted to fame by being at McDonald's by Public Enemy, so maybe these things happen underneath the golden arches. And as we alluded to, Black Eyed Peas record was popular because of McDonald's.
Do you know what Amory does now?
No.
She's an author.
Okay.
Yes, she's got a novel coming out in 2025. It may even be out by the time you're listening to this. She has her own book club online, and she's written a kids' book, and she's been published in anthologies, and she's doing that.
Yeah, I got the impression that she turned away from music partially because of this notion of being ripped off that you haven't picked up on, but I'm going to keep banging on about for some reason. There was just loads of talk about it, about, you know, this record was going to be given to J-Lo as somebody. Loads of people going, thank God she didn't do it. Hopefully, she's got a happier life, that is more financially secure, doesn't have to dance around in her pants so much at an older age, you know, but as an author, then...
Very rarely happens at book signings.
Only rarely, though. Knocked me out, this record. Got that na-na-na-na-na, ooh. Na-na, lovely hook, that is. A bit like the Jamiroquai, which one I didn't go on about. Feels just like it should. Lovely little hook of, yeah. All these little bits of guttural noise this week in this week's top 10. I liked them.
I have to admit, the first few times I heard this song, I did think the na-na-na-na-na bit was her going gobble, 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 gobble.
Okay.
You know, like a turkey.
I understand.
What do you think the one thing is? It's this one thing that got me tripping. Do you think it's a banana skin? Or maybe a small rock?
It's a sexy record for sure. I like the urgency with which Amory delivers this missive. It is a song built for dancing, really, though. It's a groove, it's a vibe, it's a party record. It gets you up on your feet, and yet, as you say, the craft is still there.
My car keys are jingling in my hand. My high heels are clicking towards your door. That's the story of I've driven to your place.
Yep.
That's a booty call happening right there.
Yeah, like I say, just the urgency. She's been trying to let it go, trying to keep her eyes closed, trying to keep it just like before. The times we never even thought to speak. Don't want to tell you what it is, but it felt serious. I mean, you know, it's just got that... How can I put it without being too poncy? Like I say, just that breathless urgency.
Just be poncy, Andy.
The breathless urgency transports me to a higher plane of musical awakening.
Does it?
I've been poncy. Yeah, it does a bit, though. It got me tripping, literally. as we alluded to, and let's call it the intro to part 1, Destiny's Child just announced their breakup, haven't they? I believe that Beyonce may well have been looking at Amory. Some of the choreography and the moves and the video shoot is incredibly reminiscent. That's not a criticism of anybody.
Did you try and do any of the moves?
Not really. Did you try and do the moves?
No.
No, you sure?
Shut up.
I like the video. She's a part of it, part of one of the settings where they're editing it all together and making her and her dancers look great. It's got the old Elvis imagery, hasn't it? It's got the red backdrop with all the silhouettes of other dancers in there. Big tick for anybody who culturally references Elvis. I particularly like, there's one shot of her, isn't there, part of when she's under a bed sheet.
Oh, yeah, I remember that bit.
It's reminiscent, isn't it, of scenes in films under the bedsheet shot. And Devoid on YouTube, he says, that shot in the white bedsheet really captures the my beloved dead wife who inspires my self-destructive rampage vibes.
Wow. There's quite a lot of projecting going on there, isn't it?
You've seen it in films, haven't you, with the bloke is remembering his wife.
Oh, God, yeah, no, you're right. It is a trope. Remembering my wife before she was horribly killed by the man I must now go and kill.
I thought it was a great shade, Devoid. Nice bit of cultural shoelace tie-in.
I thought you were having a breakdown, but clearly, no, you've spotted a movie trope there. Well done.
Number 4.
Down 1 to number 4. It's Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz featuring De La Soul. Their biggest hit up to this point, but Dare will be a number 1 in 3 months' time.
We mentioned this before in our previous podcast, your beloved De La Soul. So I'm guessing you're right into this record.
I am right into this record.
Tell me about it. Tell me about your emotional response to it before we do some facts.
This sounds like a criticism of dance records, and I don't mean it that way. But yes, it's a dance record, and it's groovy, but there's also some substance there as well, because it's about something.
So I'd be led to believe. I mean, let's just do it, James, briefly. Something like that, yeah?
Yeah.
The chords are E minor.
Do you know how hard it is for me to hear that riff and not just go, feel good, at the end?
Do it.
Feel good. Feel good.
Also, the chords throughout it go, over the windmill bit, E minor, windmill, B minor, A minor, da. So, and those chords are essentially over the bass line, the do. So those chords are all the way through. That's all it is.
Yeah. I did try to find out whether that windmill was the one that James Blunt's dad owned.
Listen to part 1 to get that joke fully. I liked it. I remember an interview with Noel Gallagher at the time talking about, their silly rivalry was still going on. And Noel Gallagher, now and again, I think he's really funny. I think he's pretty wise. He says great things, but he was on about this record saying essentially, the only good bit is the windmill bit. And I thought, the bit that sounds like let's call it traditional song. You don't like all the other stuff, Noel. And again, I thought it was a bit silly because, like I say, it's essentially the same musical backing, just with a little bit of plainative singing. But then again, Noel Gallagher, a few years later, he was going on about his new record and he was so excited because he thought it was a sonic improvement. Do you know why? Do you know what he thought made it such a culturally and sonically new and innovative?
Go on.
It had a saxophone on it.
Wow.
So, I love Noel though, but he says silly stuff sometimes.
You do think by this point Damon Albarn's on a very separate plane to the Gallagher brothers at this point.
Yeah.
It's all about a melancholy town where we never smile.
James, let me just cut in. I listen to this record. I love it. Gets me dancing. It makes me feel a variety of things. I thought, I don't really know what it's about.
A lot of it is words that kind of sound nice together. A bit like if you've ever listened to Beck's upbeat stuff.
Yeah.
He'll always be about the sound of the words. But it is about the Feel Good Inc. is like the company that provides the product that makes you happier.
So I'm led to believe,
even if the rest of everything is shit.
And if you watch the video with all, let's call it the mythology around Gorillaz, they explain it a little bit more what Feel Good Inc. is. I had a little look at what it means to people. Like I say, despite my, this is a good tune, I like it, talk a lot. Now, a couple of people on one website, which one was it? Song Meanings, I think. They started saying, well, if you read about 2D and Murdoch, They have said in an interview about Feel Good Inc. and it's
We should point out 2D and Murdoch are two of the cartoon characters that make up the group.
Absolutely.
Gorillas. Yeah.
Remember this, the cartoon characters. And then they started going on about it was all about excess and hedonism and how they were hiding sorrow. And would you believe that Murdoch said this, but 2D and I thought, this is too rich for my blood, everybody. I'm getting out of this analysis.
You can have that's there if you want it, but if you just want to have a dance, then you can do that too.
And then there's a big article I found, would you believe, on the internet by someone called Sahari Radhakrishna. To give you an idea of, let's call it, the depth of this interpretation, he says, this song is most likely a commentary on a state of affairs in the music industry. On a more basic level, it's a dystopian government that sells twisted entertainment to its citizens while throttling any free and independent expression. Inc. tames free entertainers and forces them to play mind-numbing music, which is sold to seduce people of the world and strip them of their free will for profits.
Yeah, man. Music industry's that evil and that.
And did you know that from listening to it, or did you have to look into, like I say?
No, you have to look into it to get that and watch the video. I think it does come across more in the video, and they're supposed to exist as like a video only band, aren't they? Yeah. Gorillas. That's kind of the whole thing behind it.
I liked it since you pointed this out to me. De La Soul's contributions, James. Since you told me that they rap about food a lot,
they do.
They talk about a chocolate attack, and as you mentioned in the intro in part one, something being cheddar-headed.
Yeah.
So that made me appreciate it a bit more. So thanks for giving me that little insight into De La Soul's culinary preferences.
Yeah, it's Mace and Trugoy the Dove who are doing the rap. You know the laugh in this song?
Yep.
That's all the way through.
And starts it off marvellously.
Yeah, I always thought, well, what they've done there is they've sampled like one of those laughing policeman things from an old-timey fairground, and that's what that is. It isn't. That's Mace's genuine laugh that they captured in the studio and put it in. That's how he laughs. How amazing is that?
You'd want him at a comedy club gig, wouldn't you?
Damn right I would. Or just anyone.
Thanks for listening.
I like that when the chorus kicks in, it sounds like it's being recorded on an answer phone tape. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Are you aware of the Flimsy Steve tweet?
No.
Okay. I think it's the most accurate tweet anyone's ever written. It was by Fix Your Heart Sore. The tweet goes, guest rapper on Gorillaz song. I've been in N since 10, kicking product round the bend. My mum died of tuberculosis. I'm slipping into psychosis. Damon Albarn on the chorus. Ooh, Flimsy Steve, where did you go? What have you seen? It's very, very accurate breakdown of Gorillaz records. Part of me, when he starts going on about windmills, part of me's thinking, ooh, Flimsy Steve.
Fair enough. I like these. Any comments that stick in people's heads are good, I suppose. Apart from one once, remember the DJ Mike Reed?
Yeah.
He played Thriller once, James, the Michael Jackson song. You know the bit that goes, night creatures falling. He spent about 10 minutes going, it sounds like Mike Reed. Mike Reed is falling. And I thought, you massive egotist.
Yeah.
And annoyingly, when I hear that record now and that bit comes up, I still think about it. So, I suppose we're doing that, aren't we? We're giving out unasked for opinions and hopefully something will stick.
But we're not going, hey, listen to this. It sounds like they're singing my name.
No.
Weird. Although when I was a teenager and I used to listen with my headphones on in my bedroom, there would be bits of records like in the background that sounded exactly like my mom shouting at the stairs for me. So I was constantly taking my headphones off, going, "What?"
Yeah,
and she'd be like, "Nothing." And I'm like, so either my mom's calling me and then not as a joke, or she was running around recording studios at the time. James in the background of songs.
This is an unexpected twist. Can you remember any of the records that you believe your mum featured backing vocals on?
No, I can't remember at the time.
If you've got any equivalents, please email us into ShoobyPodcast@gmail.com and tell us which records your mum was shouting all over.
Did that happen to other people?
Yeah, I've got an example. Yeah, I've got an example of it. An Elvis record, I remember. He goes, in your arms, and then you do a little, what's the other one I heard the other day? It's just got a massive at the end of it. It always just sounds like my neighbours having a go at me. Anyway, what a nice little byway we journeyed down that way.
Do you know who produces this track?
Damon Albarn, I would imagine.
And Danger Mouse.
Okay.
Not the cartoon mouse, which would be appropriate for Gorillaz. No, Brian Burton, DJ Danger Mouse. He'd come to prominence the year before. Do you remember why?
Doing the mashup album.
Yeah.
The Beatles, Jay-Z black one and the Beatles white one. The grey album.
The grey album, yeah, that's what he did. So what he could have done, he could have mixed the white album with Simply Red and he would have ended up with Pink.
That's right.
What happens if you mix those things together?
He could have put Simply Red and Green Day along with the White Album, and then just get a big sludgy Brown album.
You get James Brown. See how it works.
I also liked it a lot because Jamiroquai was banging on about Feels Just Like It Should, and along comes Feels Good Inc. a bit later on, so I'm going to say there's a little link here. I always like it when we do that, James.
Do you know who else is in the Gorillaz? In real life, not the cartoon version.
Who has played in Gorillaz, or who's contributed, or who's in the...
Who's on this record, let's say?
Go on.
So there's... Well, he doesn't... I don't know if he contributes to the record because he does all the artwork.
Yes, James Dudar.
Jamie Hewlett.
Of course, my apologies, Mr. Hewlett.
His father-in-law is Antoine Decombe from Eurotrash.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, good fact.
And Simon Tong, who used to be in The Verve.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Zazar says, the world might be falling apart, but we've still got bops.
Which is kind of what the song is about.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, it all comes together.
Number 3.
Down 1 to number 3 this week, and it was a former number 1. It's Akon with Lonely.
This was on the playlist.
On your radio show?
Yeah, you make it sound like I had any say in what records were played on the commercial radio station. I was just there to laugh.
Press buttons.
And press
laugh.
buttons.
Fair enough. So you're familiar with this record?
Yeah.
It's part of your life.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
In between,
Several
let's say,
times.
Gwen Stefani.
Yeah.
Now, so how did you take it this week, James? What did it do to you? You've got a slightly traumatic, shell-shocked look about you.
Feel Good Inc. That wasn't on the playlist. Amory, One Thing. That wasn't on the playlist.
Jamiroquai?
Wasn't on the playlist. Right. This was on the bloody playlist.
Don't you like it?
This is the most annoying record in the chart this week, and I know what's coming up.
All right, then. Because I want to call it my rock and roll predilections, James.
Yeah.
I like it. It's got a 50s doo-wop feel to it. The lyrics are nothing about being a boy on your own and being lonely. The sample,
I know why he's lonely.
Go on, why?
This song's annoying, and everyone's left him alone.
I liked it, James. Did you watch the video?
Yeah.
Now, this is interesting, isn't it? While we're kicking Akon, or what you are a little bit saying.
I'm not kicking Akon
per
se.
We're only being silly.
It's just this record.
Yeah, all right. But at the beginning of the video, before he's lonely, he's interrupted, isn't he, by P. Diddy asking him if he was partying. Are you coming out with me on my party? And Akon says, no, I'm going to stay here and be miserable. So, big tick to Akon, yeah. Even in 2005, he knows what's going to happen if he goes to one of them terrible events.
That decision has aged well. Well done, Akon.
It made a big difference, I felt, watching the video to this song, the fact that he's gone there. Because P. Diddy loved him, I think. They were collaborators at the time. So I like the fact in the video he's not publicly going, yeah, I'll do whatever you want, P.
My issue is this.
Yeah.
This is clearly just a thing with my ears. Anything with a record that's been sped up.
The sample, I am so lonely.
To give it that sort of chipmunky sound.
Mr. Lonely.
Just goes right through me. Yeah. I was trying to think of, are there any songs I can think of where there's like a sped up vocal?
We did one. We did that Scoot song, that Logical when I was young. It drove me loopy.
Do you remember I hated that as well?
I agreed with you on that one, though, so I'm not so willing to jump on this bandwagon.
I was trying to think, is there any song with a sped-up vocal that I don't hate?
Yeah.
And the only ones I can come up with is occasionally The Prodigy would do it.
Okay. So the noise of the sped-up vocal, inherently, it's not going to work for you?
That's a red flag to me. So anything with that, so like, the Chipmunks or the beginning of Spaceman by Babylon Zoo, I always just thought, this sounds awful.
Don't listen to the soundtrack of Girl Happy, the Elvis Presley film, because they sped up his vocals a little bit for that.
A little bit or a lot?
No, just a little bit.
You
wouldn't have noticed.
If I don't notice it, then it's fine.
Okay, well, it's a sample by my memory, or Bobby Vinton, is this right?
It is Bobby Vinton. Mr. Lonely, the song by Bobby Vinton from 1964, but they sped it up to make it sound awful. Incredibly, this is Bobby Vinton's biggest UK chart hit.
The Akon song.
Yeah.
So you're getting, fair enough. He sings on it.
Bobby Vinton, much, much more successful in America than he was in the UK. In fact, he only had 2 UK chart entries in the early 60s. And it was only when Blue Velvet was re-released in 1990 and got to number 2 that he had significant chart success. And that was because the song was featured in a Nivea ad. But the original Mr. Lonely had been an American number 1 back when it was released, his 4th. I found it very cloying, this song.
Oh, it's cloying and annoying, let's be honest, but I suppose it depends whether you like the charm. Like I say, because of my 50s stuff, I kind of like the words. They're so simple. He's having a nightmare in the second verse. I can't believe I had a girl like you and I let you walk right out of my life after all I put you through. You still stuck around and stayed by my side, but what really hurt me is I broke your heart. Baby, you're a good girl, blah-de, blah-de, blah-de. It's all those kind of lyrics.
I'm glad he's lonely.
The chord tradition, without properly listening to it, is be one of them, I imagine, of a lonely, I'm so lonely, I'm nobody to call my own. The 1, the 6, the 4, the 5, that sort of progression, standard as you get. I mean, I'm going to knock big points off because he rhymes baby with crazy towards the end. And whenever I hear that rhyme, I always think, no, you're relegated at least a division for that. But you hate it. I kind of think it's stupid and fun. Well, this happens sometimes.
Yeah, it's not for me. I think I had to listen to it so much and I didn't like it. And then sometimes records grow on you.
Yeah, go
This
on.
one had the opposite effect.
All right, let me ask you this then. What record, from let's call it your over familiarity when you're working on a radio station, which ones do you hear now and give you a nice feeling that maybe you didn't like at the time? Does that phenomenon ever occur? Something like a phenomenon. It's something like a phenomenon. I'm giving you time to think of one while I sing something like a phenomenon.
Look at Don't Funk With My Heart, which was on our playlist.
Yeah.
When I heard it, I would have probably just dismissed it as, it's another Black Eyed Peas record.
For sure.
Yeah. It's one of theirs.
Easily
Right.
done.
And you hear it all the time, so it just becomes background. And only now, when I come back to it, going, actually, this is really good.
Yeah.
Whereas with the Akon one, I just thought, oh, God, it's this.
A lot of people...
And I did listen to it, Andy, and I did try.
How many times?
Almost once all the way through. I really tried. I want it to grow on me. I want it to do something, but it didn't. I don't like it.
Fair enough. This is part of our personal and let's call it unasked for opinions we like to give on this podcast now and again. Doesn't stop you from listening to it and making your own mind up, or even emailing us and telling us we're a right pair of idiots.
Or that you agree with me, because I'm right.
I don't agree with you on this one. I think it's harmless fun, but then there's loads of records I've done in the past, haven't I, James, where this dynamic has occurred, but vice versa. As an example of YouTube comments, James. MK1G7. When you're happy, you vibe with the melody. When you're broken, you finally understand the lyrics, yeah?
She sounds like an idiot.
Magadus Pre says, 5-year-old me, this song is catchy. 20-year-old me, trying my best not to cry like a baby. Tricky Up Mafia says, this song hits hard, no lie. It's like bro was creating this for all the lonely people out there. So this is my point, James. When you don't look at YouTube comments, which is very much a role I've taken a little bit, sometimes just the sheer amount of love for a song will change your perception of it.
Yeah, it's not going to. I know some stuff about Akon, though.
Oh, please tell me.
He was born Eliaun Damala Muga Timapuru Nakalululu Badara Akon Tiam.
Sorry, I just my earphones dropped out. What was it again?
I'm not saying that again. I didn't say it right the first time. Up to the year 2007, he held the Guinness World Record for the most ringtones sold.
Did he?
With 11 million.
That's good. As Arctic Monkeys once succinctly put it, there's only new music, so there's new ringtones, so, you know.
Akon has 4 wives and owns a diamond mine. Akon claimed to have spent 3 years in...
Whoa,
What?
beep, beep, beep. He owns a diamond mine.
Yep.
Cool.
Akon claimed to have spent 3 years in prison for auto theft, but it's not true. In 2018, Akon announced that he was going to build a real-life Wakanda in Senegal and was planning a futuristic city 100 kilometres south of Dakar called Akon City. It was going to be funded by his cryptocurrency, which, yes, is called Acoin. He has not spoken publicly about it since 2022, and the only things that currently exist are a welcome centre and a youth club.
Right, yeah.
In August 2024, the Senegalese government issued Akon an ultimatum to start the project or return 90% of the land that was governmentally granted to him.
I'm liking this notion of Akon. Who'd have thought he'd be such a swindler?
Since its launch in 2020, Acoin has lost 98% of its value. It used to trade at 15 cents, and now it is worth 0.3 of a cent.
Well, this has certainly made this record more interesting. I like the notion of this, let's call it madman, being behind this bit of pop nonsense.
I do quite like the idea that there's just this welcome centre there where his big city's going to be, and he's sitting in it, and he's singing this song about being lonely. Yeah, it's because you didn't build your city, mate.
Number 2.
A new entry at number 2. It's U2 with The City of Blinding Lights. Yeah, a city. Like a real one, Akon.
Also, Bono is banging on about how beautiful you are, so that's a little hint to James Blunt from part one, I'm going to say. A little bit of, as I say, I like to tie the shoelaces of the charts together.
He says, "Oh, you look so beautiful tonight."
Yeah,
he's not saying you are beautiful. He's saying you look beautiful tonight.
He has played the Eric Clapton card of you made yourself up, maybe, so that's the only time, okay.
You've made an effort on this one occasion.
I said you scrubbed up nice tonight.
This wins the Grammy Award for Best Rock Song. It features in The Devil Wears Prada. Rotten Tomatoes rating 75%.
A lot of people on YouTube comments were familiar with this song from that film, so, again, that little bit of synergy has done its job.
And because it's in that film, it is in the Simpsons episode, The Devil Wears Nada.
Thank God we've had the Simpsons reference this week. I don't feel complete unless it happens.
It is one of Obama's favourite songs, and he used it in his presidential campaign.
So I read, James, this was good. On YouTube, I thought this sums up, let's call it the political divide in a much more succinct way than anything possibly. KSU grad 79, they say the President Obama walk-on song, great choice, yeah? Turbo Mount TV pops up to say, leave it to a bozo to have a crappy song as his signature.
Yeah, you bozo.
I liked it as a little notion of, let's call it people's political divide. I thought it was very to the point.
We've talked a bit about U2 before, about how we're broadly U2 positive.
I'm always happy to talk about U2. This is the third one we've covered, I reckon. We did Vertigo, which we were both big fans of.
Beautiful Day.
Beautiful Day, which, despite my love for U2, I am not into that song.
I was slightly more positive, but mostly meh about Beautiful Day.
All right, so this week with this song, but City of Blinding Lights, again, this is one of the ones, I think this is not my favourite U2 song, but the notion of repeated listening to the Spotify playlist, again, check out our playlist, we always like to remind you of that. I've warmed to this song a little bit this week.
Oh, that's good. To me, it sounds like you've gone, hey, ChatGPT, write a U2 song.
It's got that vibe, hasn't it, for sure?
I don't think it's their most interesting work. I think it's perfectly pleasant.
It's pretty U2 by the numbers, which I suppose in this case might be U3 or U4 maybe.
It was inspired by Bono seeing a photo of himself boarding a helicopter in 1982.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, he talks a little bit in the lyrics about looking at photographs and being ugly. Is that what it's about?
Apparently so.
I like that line a bit. Sometimes with Bono, when he's not banging on about the Bible or the weather, I think he writes some great lyrics or interesting ear-catching ones for sure. This has got that in it. Got a lot of bombast in it, hasn't it? It starts off as a long intro, I believe.
It's got that, the piano noise has got that sort of rattly saloon bar sound to it.
All right, the lyrics I like. The more you see, the less you know. Typical bit of trickery at the beginning, isn't it? You can say that about anything, really. You can say a comment and then contradict it. Sounds wise, doesn't it? Or does it? And then the less you find out as you go, which if you're listening to this podcast, possibly that relates to you. So all this kind of stuff. So it's got that vibe, isn't it? And then he's telling someone or other they look beautiful tonight in the City of Blinding Lights.
Apparently that was inspired by a gig they did in New York City post 9/11, where Bono just started telling the crowd that they look beautiful tonight.
Okay.
And they put it in the song. Bono said the first verse is London.
What?
Right? So neon heart, day glow eyes, a city lit by fireflies. They're advertising in the skies for people like us. He says, and the chorus...
They do advertising in the skies. Do you remember that time when they were going to project the Coca-Cola logo on the moon for a little bit? And that made me think, well,
what? When was that?
It was over a little bit like gossip for, let's call it the publicity's sake anyway, or whoever's in charge of the moon. Said, nah,
whoever's in charge of the moon.
There must be somebody in charge.
Who is in charge of the moon? Who's the king of the moon?
If you know.
I mean, Neil Armstrong's dead, so it can't be him.
He wasn't king, he was just a visitor.
Buzz Aldrin.
All right, then.
That's King Buzz, the first of the moon. Yeah, he said apparently the first verse is London, the chorus is New York.
Okay.
I've had a look at it and I can't figure that out.
The third verse is, the one when he's going on about the man and the less you feel. Very much about Margate, I think.
The fourth chorus is about Ipswich. But it could just be one of those things that Bono says, because it sounds cool.
What I like about him is this U2, like we say, U2 by the numbers, U2 by the book, standard U2. It's a time in their career, and I think they were trying to get back to where they once belonged, to mention Paul McCartney again. It sounds a little bit like it could be from The Unforgettable Fire to me, this record, the pianos, blah, 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 blah. My favourite incarnation of Bono is when he does The Fly or Mephisto or The Preacher, and he looks ridiculous. He takes these leaps, sometimes absolutely, he gets it wrong. I love his ambition, if you like, and the ability to make himself look stupid.
A bit like Jamiroquai in the video we were talking about in part 1.
I mean, the good thing about this record is it wasn't forced on your phone, so I'll give you two a bit of credit for that at least.
The UK's number 1.
It's a non-mover at number 1. It is Axel by the artist I mentioned at the beginning in our prelude. The artist with the singular voice, unmistakable. It is Crazy Frog.
Not as annoying as Akon.
Okay, yeah. I mean, again, I agree with you. I agree. I mean, there's something. All right, let's do it. Let's talk about Crazy Frog first. I mean, I didn't particularly like Axel by who was it? Harold Faltermeyer.
Harold Faltermeyer. He had the original number 2 hit in 1985.
This record is improved by Crazy Frog, I think. I like
Really?
all his ding-a-ding-ding-dong nonsense here, yeah. I love Crazy Frog for just how annoying he is and how it sort of divided people and the cultural impact it had. You've got to give it cred just for that.
Well, interestingly, Andy, the original name of the internet meme that became known as the Crazy Frog was The Annoying Thing.
Okay.
So it kind of knew. Do you know what that sound is?
Remind me of the sound. I can't remember.
Kind of ding, 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 like that, isn't it?
It's a frog who's mental.
Is it a frog? When have you ever heard a frog make anything approaching that noise? Also, the cartoon of the Crazy Frog, is that a frog? Is
It's
that
a strange frog, isn't it? With his crash helmet on and his motorcycle goggles.
And his bits dangling down.
Yeah.
No, in 1997, a 17-year-old from Sweden called Daniel Malmedal recorded himself doing an impression of a moped. That file, which was called tutactere.mp3, started going around the burgeoning internet. And everyone, listen to this funny noise that someone's made. Then Swedish TV picked it up in 2001, going, have you heard this on the internet? And then it continues to sort of spin around the internet until a German ringtone company called Jamster, or Jamba, it's the same company. They go, we could make some money out of this. We could turn this into a ringtone.
Do you think Akon was a bit fucked off because of his dominance in the ringtone market?
Yeah.
That's showbiz.
They get in touch with Malmedal. They make a deal with him, and it goes on to be a very popular ringtone amongst idiots. So that's happening on the internet, in the internet world. Yeah. Meanwhile, in the music...
I'm going to come back to the idiots thing.
I'm just joking, Meantime, in the music world, there's a version of Axel F, a cover version by Murphy Brown and Captain Hollywood.
Are they doing a cover version of this record?
Of Axel F,
yeah.
of the Faltermeyer song Axel F, right? Captain Hollywood, by the way, I've stayed in the same hotel as him at the same time.
What do you mean?
He was in a group called 24/7 in the early 90s. Me and my family were on holiday in St Ives.
How do you know they weren't called 247?
Because I heard them being introduced, Andy. If you just let me tell the story. Me and my family were staying at a hotel in St Ives, and I was super excited because I knew on the Friday of that holiday we were having, the Radio 1 Roadshow was going to be in St Ives. And I was like, we've got to go to the Radio 1 Roadshow. Yeah. It's hosted by Gary Davis, and his special guests are going to be 24/7 featuring Captain Hollywood. And all of them Roadshow people were staying in the same hotel as us. It's quite a big hotel. So we saw Gary Davis and Captain Hollywood at breakfast, and then we went to see the Radio 1 Roadshow.
Showbiz tales, I like them.
You like it, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Anyway, so they make a version of Axel F. The producers of that, who are called the Offcast Project and Bass Bumpers, then re-release it, adding in the Crazy Frog noise.
The boy who was doing the moped.
Yeah. So they do a mashup of that cover of Axel F., the Crazy Frog ringtone, originally releasing that as a ringtone. This single starts as a ringtone. And Jamster are spending so much money on advertising at this point that their advert featuring this noise becomes like ubiquitous. And there's a guy called Guy Holmes, owns a record label. He's on holiday in Thailand, and because of the tsunami, he can't go outside. Right. So he's stuck in his hotel room. He's got the TV on, and this is in every ad break.
Yeah.
And he goes, there's a record in this.
Well done. I mean, whilst the tsunami's raging outside, to see a little bit of a commercial nous to capitalise on.
Yeah. Guy Holmes said, I walked back into the office and said, that fucking annoying ringtone would make a great record. Unfortunately, it's now on my CV, though I gave up on credibility a long time ago.
But loads of money, so and I say it's got credibility to me anyway, just because it's so divisive. It's annoyed so many people. I feel like not everyone in the world, of course, but people know what Crazy Frog is inherently. So the notion of a cartoon fictional character having such a whack in the world round the head with a sock full of billiard balls is appealing, isn't it?
Yeah. In the month leading up to it getting to number one, Jamster spent around £8 million on TV ads in the UK alone.
Wow.
It is estimated that 87% of the population of the UK would have seen the advert on average 26 times.
Amazing. I mean, we were talking about James Blunt, weren't we, in part one, and saying that there's a team behind it making that record popular a little bit. It was omnipresent. I mean, it looks like James Blunt making him look like a struggling indie artist who's busking on the corner.
In September of 2005, why did the Advertising Standards Agency rule that this advert couldn't be shown before 9 p.m?
Was it because of the cartoon trope of not having any trousers on and you could see the frog's dinker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Dinker.
I didn't know what to say. I was going to say dinky, and then I thought it made me sound like Russell Brand, so I tried, you know.
Good save.
I didn't want that.
They also got in trouble with Ofcom for not making it clear that when people bought the ringtone, they weren't just buying the ringtone, they were actually signing up to a subscription service.
Oh, okay, sneaky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sneaky. But
That's why
clearly,
I got a timeshare flat. Don't do it.
clearly loads of people loved it because
Yeah.
it's number one.
Number one.
Is it all the kids buying it? Is it all the little kids?
And people buying it for their kids, I imagine. A lot of, let's call it pester power going on in the world. I mean, the ringtones market is interesting in 2005. Isn't that the first time we've mentioned it? So this notion of music expanding to fill in gaps in other people's lives isn't a traditional 7-inch single. It's all happening, James.
And people buying it for their enemies.
Yeah. Quite. Now, the notion of the frog, James. Are you aware of Pepe?
Yeah, I know about Pepe.
So this is it.
Frog,
I
the
find this
right-wing
interesting.
frog, yeah.
Well, he's not a right-wing frog, is he? He may or may not have been adopted, but he's a James cartoon character, so he can't be a right-wing frog. But my point being that these things become attached with a meaning, don't they? Mm-hmm. Now, like I say, this Pepe frog, seemingly, people have been saying that's the right-wing thing. The artist is heartbroken, the Pepe artist, whatever his name is, because he said, I didn't want this when I made up a silly cartoon.
Jeremy Corbyn.
So, the frog being so powerful in modern culture.
All started with Kermit.
Regular listeners will know the importance of you bringing that up at the end, yeah. Kermit,
This is where it leads.
it all starts.
This is where it leads. It all starts with Kermit and it ends up here.
Yeah.
Oh, man. The unintended consequences.
Yeah.
Would you choose to listen to this ever?
I didn't turn it off this week when it was on. I got weirdly. I mean, no. I'll never listen
You
to it
wouldn't play
again.
this on a date
No.
to impress a lady? Dim the lights, stick on Axel F by Crazy
I
Frog.
like the notion of Crazy Frog being a seduction soundtrack. This would be good, wouldn't it?
Because if she went for it, you'd be like, oh, that's a red flag.
Oh, you look so beautiful tonight. Or, as James Blunt said, oh, you're so beautiful. It feels just like it should. We're on a date. Hang on. Let me just put a record on. A ding, 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 ding.
So that brings to the end of our top 10 rundown for the 15th of June 2005.
A fantastic top 10, James. There's plenty of thrills and spills in this.
Yeah.
What was your favourite song this week?
Well, I think there are three that stand out. I think it's the Jamiroquai, A-Marie, and Gorillaz are the best three. I'm going to go with One Thing by A-Marie.
Again, one of my top two. The other one, of course, being...
Ring, ding, 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 ding. Sorry.
Let's just do that. I'm happy. I was going to play the Jamiroquai riff, but that's since it's just in my head, I'm right into it.
Thanks so much for listening to this nonsense. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope you have listened to the songs on the playlists.
Please listen to them now if you haven't already. Makes your life much, much better.
And if you can, join our Patreon community and check out our bonus tracks podcast.
Also, please rate, share, subscribe, write us a review. That's really helpful. We'd appreciate that, wouldn't we, James? I'd like to thank the artists of 2005 who made these records. I'd like to thank the record buying public for putting in the top 10. And I'd like to thank you mainly for listening to this.
Until next time, Shooby Dooby Doo up.
Bop, bop, shoo up. Ding, ding, ding.